Hey guys, how are you? It's Hitman23. It's actually my first official video in my new card room, as you can see behind me. Um, did the tour a couple of days ago, and just been going through a lot of stuff in the house. We have to go through a lot of my dad's stuff. We just had to move my dad into memory care, so I had to take a lot of the stuff that was in his apartment to my house, and just it's a little overwhelming trying to go through everything. He saved everything, and I have to like go through it, get rid of things, shred things. He saved every paper. He was a financial planner, so he has a lot of paperwork and statements I have to shred. It's just crazy. And I have to make room in my house and, do things to, Tetris things around and fit things in where they can go. Because there's things I can get rid of and there's things I can't. So I was, doing that today. Me and my son Luke were underneath the stairs in our laundry room. We have like a little cubby hole under our stairs where we use as storage. And I I knew it was there, but I hadn't looked at it in a long time. It's a box of like memorabilia that I was like, oh, I can't wait to get to that stuff so I can get it up in my room. And I forgot I had some of the stuff in here. So this is all like newspaper clippings and yearbooks and sticker books and no really cards per se. So I thought I'd come on and show you what I've got as I go through it and kind of rummage through and figure out where things are going to go. So the first thing, I made a little pile. I'm just kind of going through things and just randomly picking things out. So the first thing I'm going to show is this. I remember back in the day when newspapers actually meant something. Newspapers are pretty much a dead news source now. Nobody really buys a newspaper anymore. It's a shame, reading a newspaper was kind of a cool, relaxing thing. Everything's, of course, we know online now. But back in the day, and it wasn't too far back, these are from 2004. The New York Daily News, when you bought, I don't remember if you bought the paper, but they were giving these away, I believe, at the newsstand. And there's these uncut sheets of 2004 Fleer Yankee team. And it's just the 9 cards here. I've got 3 uncut sheets. And probably gonna do a frame for one of these and put them up on the wall. So I've got all this space, and I knew I had things I wanted to put up on the wall and other things beside what you see. So I've got these, and they're pretty cool. So these are from 2004 Daily News, and it's the old Fleer stuff. And this next piece. Another cool thing that newspapers did back in the day was when your team won the World Series, they would put something in the newspaper. Maybe they still do. I haven't bought a newspaper in a long time, but I know them. I know this was awesome. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was when the Yankees won the series in '96, and I've saved that ever since. And that is going to go into a frame for sure and get up on my wall. It's a great piece. I can't believe that's going on 30 years, man. 30 years ago. 30 years ago that happened. It just blows my mind. That was a Yankee team to remember. And, they had players there who knew how to win. Knew how to show up in the postseason. This next piece is kind of funny. These are all newspaper clippings, and I was a big newspaper clipping person. I like to ask whoever's watching, did you love clipping stuff out of newspapers when you were younger? This is all stuff from like the probably mid 80s, 84, 85, 86 time. And I love to snip little, articles out and pictures. And this is kind of funny. I think this is from 1984. I'm a huge Kiss fan as well. And I remember this being in a newspaper, and I thought it was hysterical. So I cut that out. I love it. It is so cool. So that's one thing, non-baseball related. And then I've got all this really cool stuff. And from when Pete Rose tied Ty Cobb's record here. I've got the one where Reggie, this may have been Reggie's 500th. Yep, Reggie's 500th. So I got that. I'm trying to think where these were clipped out of. Yeah, this is the Washington Post because I lived in Northern Virginia back then in 1985, I guess, or 84. This is, man, my eye, you know, guys, I have bad eyesight. Wednesday, September 19th, 1984. So I was living in Northern Virginia at the time. This is the Washington Post. I believe the Pete Rose is the same deal. I'm not 100% sure. And then back, you know, we moved back to New York in 1986. And the local Westchester County newspaper, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like Gannett Suburban or something like that. I think in 1985 or 1986, they would put pictures of, you know, the Yankees and the Mets in the newspaper, and I would cut them out, you know. So there we go. We got the Dale Barra. And it's kind of a shame that, you know, it's kind of a lost art, right? Or a lost piece of history. And there is a Mike Easler. He actually was named Hitman before Hitman 23 was Hitman. Before Don Mattingly. Here's Dan Pasqua. Now, if you ask, you know my last name is Pasqua. And I have not confirmed, but my grandmother told me that we are distant cousins, but I was never able to confirm that. I would love to do that. But I was never able to confirm it. It's not a common last name. So I guess the chances are decent that we could be distant cousins, but I can't say that 100% sure that we're related anyway, but it's still pretty cool to have that. We got Pags. I loved Pags when he was a Yankee. He was great. Got Pags. We got Willie Randolph. All right, I was trying to cut these out as fast as I could when they came into the paper. I think they did like one every week, or no, probably one every day, because it would take a while to get those if there was just once a week. But every day, I think these were put in, and of course, the best one, the Don Mattingly. Yes, I will be framing that too. And it's really cool to have that. And it's funny, on the back, you have ads, career opportunities. You have want ads on the back. Again, kids, this is what it was like trying to get a job back then. You had to go to the newspaper and call numbers and actually do real, you know, put your feet to the floor and drop off resumes and mail out resumes and make phone calls. You know, now you can't even talk to a human being. And then here's Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. And my second fave, Ricky. That is great. But this stuff is so cool. Like, I love this stuff. It is, you know, it's fun to rediscover it and go through it and share it. Now, this is a really cool piece. This was given to me by my father-in-law after he passed away. I was lucky enough to get it. This is a cool piece. There's some really cool things in here from my father-in-law. This is a scorecard from Jackie Robinson's first season, the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers. And it's so well loved. And he wrote on it. You could see he wrote on the front right here, Giants versus Brooklyn Dodgers. Very cool piece. I'd like to actually get this in the frame as well, for that front. And then in here is the scorecard. We have the lineups here. Jackie Robinson's name is down here. And he wrote, Giants 1, lose. Dodgers 3, 1. He was a big Dodgers fan. My father-in-law, he was a huge Brooklyn Dodgers fan and then a Mets fan. So this is a really cool piece that I will always cherish. It's just awesome to see all those names on there. And, you know, just imagine Imagine the times, right? So that is a cool piece. What else? Whoa, don't want to drop anything. It's just some of the stuff is, it's going to be all scattered all over the place. Then I found, where are they? Oh yeah, these are really cool too. These are my dad's. These were my father's. Um, these little pocket books, 35-cent, Cardinal and Lion Library books. I got the 1956 Pocket Baseball Almanac. And this is really cool. It's got the old, it's got the stats from the World Series. It's got rosters. It's got the, not pictures of the stadium, but like the, I don't know what you would call that, the plans of the stadium or the dimensions of the stadiums back then. So you see all the old stadiums and their dimensions. And then in the back, I think it has the listings of the Hall of Famers by year. It's just a cool little reference book, and it's a nice piece to have in the collection. It's very cool. It tells you how to score games. Talks about, like Bob Feller's modern season strikeout record, 348 strikeouts in 1946, just like all random news, what happened in 1955. So really cool book, really cool. It's an almanac, right? It's going to give you all that information. And then this one is Baseball Stars of 1956. All right. And this is going to have who it's got. The first pick, Johnny Padres, Yogi Berra, Ernie Banks, Al Kaline, Roy Campanella, Nellie Fox, Richie Ashburn, Tommy Byrne, Robin Roberts, Billy Klaus, Duke Snyder, Herb Score, Stan Musial, Ted Williams, Henry Aaron, Ted Kluszewski, Pee Wee Reese, Bill Verdon, Harvey Keene, Don Newcomb, Eddie Matthews, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Dick Groat, and Vic Power. There you go, Lou. Vic Power is in the Baseball Stars of 1956. Very, very cool. Then I got some more newspaper clippings. I have this one from Dwight Gooden, because remember they did Mets and Yankees. It was, a New York newspaper. So I got this one of Dwight Gooden, Mr. 2020. This was from my father-in-law. I don't know what year this is from. It looks like it came out from a comic. I couldn't identify it, but it's The Life of Babe Ruth right there. It was in a not a photo album, but a scrapbook. And I'm going to show you some stuff here in a few minutes. Some of the stuff I have from the scrapbook. It's like delicate stuff, and I got to figure out how I'm going to preserve it. But this was part of that. It wasn't stuck in like some of the other pictures I'm going to show you. It was kind of just laid in there. So there's that. Then I have these really cool, my uncle had gotten these for me when I was younger. These are, I think, from 1989. I don't think they're too rare or anything like that, but they're very cool nonetheless. It's the Major League Baseball stamps, or Major League Baseball in stamps, Granada. And I definitely think these are from like 1989. But it's got like a bunch of, a bunch of full sheets of stamps, and they're all different colors. There's the one, the Mike Schmidt in the middle. It's got Dizzy Dean on there, Jackie Robinson, Nolan Ryan. And then it comes with these protective like wax papers in the middle so they don't stick together. Next one's orange. And who does that have on there? It's got Luis Aparicio. It's got Eric Davis, Ozzie Smith, Pete Incaviglia, Lou Gehrig. So it had, stars of the day, future Hall of Famers, and it's a cool little piece. I always wondered how I was going to be able to maybe display these or curate them. Here's the one with Mickey Mantle on it and Willie Mays. And then here is the one with, we got Andre Dawson, Ty Cobb, Gary Carter, Hank Aaron. That's a strong one. Kirby Puckett. All right. Very cool. I love stuff like this. The esoteric type things. All right. Here's the yellow one. It's got Roberto Clemente, very appropriate. It's got Mark McGuire on there, Pete Rose, Cal Ripken, Bob Feller, Babe Ruth, Alvin Davis, Mr. Mariner. Here's a green one. It's got my boy Donnie right in the middle. Love it. Right in the middle. And who else is on there with him? Chuck Klein, Al Kaline, Harmon Killebrew, Jose Cruz. I remember Jose Cruz. He was a good player, very good player. And this is like a dark blue one. It's got Johnny Bench on it, Wade Boggs. It's got Stan Musial. It's got Grover Cleveland Alexander. And it's got Hall of Famer Harold Baines. I wonder if in that picture, Harold Baines was thinking, yeah, someday I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. I wonder. Here's the olive green one with George Brett, Mel Ott, Bobby Bonilla's on this one, Frank Robinson, Benito Santiago. So, very cool. And then the last but not least, this one is the red, and this has got Ernie Banks. It's got Fernando Valenzuela, rest in peace. Ted Williams, Lefty Grove, Dale Murphy, Darryl Strawberry. So just some cool things that you don't really see too often. Love having that type of stuff in the collection. What else do I have here? Let's look. Let's see. Love doing these rummages. It's so fun. It's like you don't have to spend any money. Get to get cool things. I don't even know if that's going to fit back in there the way I want it to, but we'll try. There we go. We don't want to force anything, right? We don't want to force it. So I hope everybody's having a great weekend. They just go by too fast, the weekends. I was telling my wife today, it was like 2 o'clock, and where has the day gone? Like I said, I've been busy with, getting my dad situated and getting his stuff situated, and just been a long road. It's a long road, stressful. So I'm like, tonight I'm going to just enjoy my cards and enjoy my room, because I really haven't yet. Here's some more newspaper clippings. You got Phil Niekro's 300th win. And here's one of Dave Winfield when the Yankees swept the Twins. And here's a Gator, Ron Guidry. I think very underappreciated in a way, I feel. He was a great pitcher. And here we got Don Mattingly bowling over Toby Hara. Over and out. So Donnie was tagged out on that play. And then Tricky Ricky. You don't see plays like this anymore. Bowling into the second baseman or shortstop covering. Got the dust kicking up. Great stuff there. Here's a nice picture of Ricky, a black and white, getting ready to steal a base. And you got Ozzy right behind him, giving him the old rabbit ears. And then just a random commemorative patch from the old Yankee Stadium. And like I told you before, guys, I love patches. I don't remember where I got that from, but it was in something I bought. Here's a cool winning combination. This is going to go over to the Mets. We got Gary Carter and Ron Darling. And then this one is a Keith Hernandez sliding into second. Right there. Piling it on. So, some neat little pieces there. What else do we have here? What else? The cool stuff's coming up in a second. The delicate stuff. I should be wearing a bodysuit. I think that I did pull this out before. This is a Ricky Henderson Ephemera. Ricky Henderson Ephemera. There's a coin in there somewhere. Yeah, it's back in there. It's one of those Topps coins that they re-released in the late 80s. Here's the Ricky being Ricky. This looks like the 1990, I believe. I think it's 1990. I kind of like those Topps coins. I think those are cool. I think they make cool noises too. Especially when they're all together. They clankle against each other. I love that sound. And these were what? 3D? I think these were 3Ds called Topps like 3D or something. You know, they're like, I don't know if you call that embossing or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I got the Ricky one. I got some Donnies somewhere. I got a Ricky Henderson Superstar comic. I remember back in the days when comics were huge and they were making comics for everything. They were making like rock star ones and band ones and baseball player ones and Beverly Hill 90210 ones. So this is the Ricky one. And pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I got this nice little picture of Ricky the Robber. Came out of some sort of binder. I think I had bought a Ricky Henderson, like, little lot of Ricky Henderson items, and this was in it. I don't know where this came from, but these are hole punched. It must have come out of some resource type binder or something. But love it. Love the Oakland A's garb and the Kelly green. And there's just a cool, I guess you would just call this, it's not, I mean, it's not really it's a photo, but it's not, you know, it's an art photo, print of Ricky. At that time, he only played for 2 teams. If it was at the end of a career, it would be like 27 uniforms on there. But, yep, so I got some cool Ricky stuff. And what else am I going to dig out of this box? There's a lot in this box. This video is going to be long if I do everything. I don't know if I could do everything. But I definitely want to show you the next little pieces I have. For sure. Just want to get this in here the right way so I can pull this over. And get that out of the way. Oh yeah, this stuff right here. Now, this was in my father-in-law's little scrapbook. And if you know anything or have ever seen it, back in the day, so you're talking my father-in-law was born in 1937, I believe. So he was 10 in 1947, right when Jackie came into the league. So he loved his Dodgers, but he also really liked Babe Ruth, from what I can tell, because he has a lot of stuff on Babe Ruth in this old scrapbook. And if you know anything about old scrapbooks, the paper really disintegrates over time. So he took, you know, a bunch of newspaper clippings of Babe Ruth and he glued them in to his scrapbook. And these are all from the 40s, around late 40s, time when Babe Ruth was bowing out of the game, I believe. So there's some really cool little historical pieces there of Babe throughout the career, eating some cake, right? Being a Dodger coach or whatever. He was yep. In the 1938 season, he was a Dodger coach, which is really strange to see. But as I sit here and talk, the paper is like falling apart. So I was thinking of carefully just cutting off all the excess paper from the sheet, and then you know, obviously not messing with the newspaper clippings, leaving those intact the best I can, because it's just cool to have this stuff. You know, you just can't go out and grab this stuff anywhere. And of course it was cool because my father-in-law did this, and this is actually a piece from Babe Ruth's his farewell at Yankee Stadium. So that's a really cool article or picture to have. All right. And in the back here, what's the little headline back here is Dewey warned to let Truman fire first gun. New York Governor Dewey and California Governor Warren decided today to let President Truman fire the first opening gun in the forthcoming presidential election campaign. So again, I'm not sure I'm great with my history and when Truman was president, but you can date it by that. I don't have really a date on these newspapers. So maybe this isn't from when Ruth made his last appearance in Yankees game in 1948. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that. I forget. I forget when Truman was president. I would have to, look it up and figure out when these came from. But here's some more pictures of Babe Ruth, and the paper is just literally falling apart in my hands. Him with Lou Gehrig, and then another picture of Babe's last day at Yankee Stadium. And here is my my father-in-law's artwork, pictures of Babe Ruth, and a little, I don't know, wherever he got that, some sort of ad or something where he cut that out of. But this is some really, really cool stuff that I really dig, and love, and I'm honored to have that stuff in my collection. Now this one, Boston fans are gonna hate. That one Boston fans are gonna hate, and I love it. Yep, the famous ride around Yankee Stadium on the back of the horse. What you gonna do? Oh well. I would say the Red Sox got their revenge in 2004. So I wouldn't. Oh, these are just some. This isn't. This is so funny. This is an old football calendar, and I have a Joe Theismann photo right on the front here. I had cut out all the other players. I can't remember who's in this. And I even sealed this closed. Let's see if I can get into it so I can show you what I got. There we go. I'm very anal about how I keep my stuff. So actually, I want to frame this. This is a cool, again, for my wall. So I'm glad I found this stuff. And then here's a nice picture of George Rogers. And right here, this is actually, I guess, out of an old Redskins calendar. This guy right here is Ken Huff. He was a right guard for the Redskins. And when I lived in Northern Virginia during this time, Ken Huff was my next door neighbor. And that's how I was able to get tickets to the Monday Night Football game where Joe Theismann got his leg broken. But it was a very cool time in my life. I've talked about it before. Here's one of Charles Mann and Tony Peters. Looks like that's Joe Morris they're tackling right there. Now, Joe Morris was a tough little son of a gun. Mark Mosley and Joe Theismann. Mark Mosley was the last of the straight-on kickers in football. Yes. I mean, Steve Cox was a punter, but sometimes he kicked. And I know after Mark Mosley retired, Steve Cox was a Redskin. He was a Brown, then he was a Redskin. He was the punter, but sometimes he would kick field goals in an emergency, and he kicked straight on. But as a full-time kicker, Mark Mosley was the last straight-on kicker. And here is a great shot of Joe Jacoby versus Lyle Alzado. Joe Jacoby should 100% absolutely be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it's a travesty that he is not. It's unbelievable that he's not. And we got Rich Malott. Looks like he's getting ready to tackle Kevin Mack of the Browns. I believe Rich Malott may have passed away. And Gary Clark. There's Gary Clark. Now, this is the football era that was it for me, man. There's Russ Grimm and the Hogs blocking against the, at that time, the St. Louis Cardinals. Vernon Dean, he was the other cornerback to Darryl Green. What was cool was Vernon Dean and Darryl Green. Here's another one of George Rogers. And the great uniforms of the Houston Oilers. Those uniforms were one of the best ever. Here's Jay Schrader and Jeff Bostic in the background. Jay Schrader came in for Joe Theismann in the leg game. And here he looks like we have, that's number 55. I am really shocked that the Redskins never, or up till this point, the Redskins did not retire Chris Hamburger's number. He was number 55. Mel Kaufman wore it, who was a very good linebacker, but he was no Chris Hamburger. Chris Hamburger was went to 7 or 9 Pro Bowls. The guy was insane. They may have retired his number now, but back then, in the 80s, that number 55 was still being worn. That's a great shot of Mel Kaufman sacking Phil Simms. Gotta love it. And this is Neil Olkowitz. And I believe that might be Matt Suhey of the Chicago Bears. And the last one is my boy Art Monk. And my guess is that's Michael Downs from the Cowboys. But there's Art Monk doing his thing. Class act, awesome player. I think very underappreciated as a football player in terms of the NFL. Not underappreciated as a Redskin. Redskin fans love Art Monk. But I think overall in the grand scheme of things, I think Art Monk is very underappreciated as a player. I don't want to say undervalued, but value. What does that mean, right? But I think it's underappreciated. I'm not going to waste time trying to shove that back in there right now. I'll do that later off camera. Here's a 1993 Topps baseball card ad. Kind of think these are cool. I like stuff like this as well. That'll look nice up on the wall. I think that'd be great. I love that. So we'll find that a home for sure. I will definitely find that a home. I love the... Actually, I lied. That's 92 Topps. That's not 93 Topps. I thought it was 92. 93. It's 92 Topps. 92. I like the 92 and 93 top sets. Then we got some Beckett, or A. Beckett here. This is the 80s issue. We got Rocket on the front. And I think there might be some... I don't know if there's cards in this issue. No, there's no cards in this issue. But it's cool because they talk about a lot of the forgotten cards of the 80s. That's a cool article. And you got the reverse negative, the John Littlefield, the George Bell rookie card, the Ron Kittle rookie card. I mean, just crazy, right? Actually, I just picked this card up. And it's sitting right here. I just picked this card up from B-Roth. I hadn't had the 83 Topps traded Darryl Strawberry, and I always loved that card. So I picked it up off Brian last week, and it's been sitting here on my desk, getting ready for a shout out in the video. Let's see, 30 minutes, and I think I don't want to go nuts and make this too long, but there's a whole box of things here that I will make another video on. I will continue going through this stuff and showing you what's in this cool little box of magazines and yearbooks and periodicals, stuff like that. Here's a Topps magazine premiere issue 1990 baseball card preview. It's got Mr. Jose Canseco on the front. So that is a cool little piece. And then we got some Sports Illustrateds in here. I got this one from 2018. It's got the Judge and Stanton cover. All right. That's a cool one. And then how about a random 1993 Yankees yearbook? And how about a nice random 1992 Yankees yearbook with Don Mattingly on the cover? So that's a little more of what's coming in this box. Really cool pieces that I really love to thumb through and look at, and I take them out. I take them out of the sleeves, and I thumb through the books, and I like to read articles in there, look at the pictures. Brings me back to that time, and things are a little simpler, and sometimes, a lot of times, a little more fun. All right, guys, that's where I'm gonna leave off now. I will come back and do another video with the rest of that box, because just want to share something different, see another part of my collection that I've really never shown before, and keep it cool, everybody. Remember, may the cardboard God shine down upon each and every one of you. Continue enjoying your collections, and I will catch you on the next video. What's going to bring us out tonight? I think I'm just going to grab this. I think this is cool. My dad's 1956 baseball stars. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Bye-bye.